If you ever wondered how to get these tubes, the lower tube, off of one of these things, I'm going to let you know real quick. Pull your brake assembly first. Just lay it to the side, Best way to do it is pull this arm, pull this bolt off here, pull this arm out of the way, bolt and bolt. That'll slide right out of your way. Keep the pieces in, be careful. Then pull the axle, which is just this bolt here. Drop the tire out. Pull the 4 little screws with nuts holding the fender. And just above that bracket on the fender, there's some holes. See that one there? And that one there. Okay, once you get the fender off and undo these boots, which weren't here the first time I had to do this, you can twist this. You got to twist those holes, the 2 holes, to the back on this bike. And there's a brass pin in there. You might want to use brake clean, whatever, to clean it. And that brass pin, you'll see it, you just push it in with a small pick, and then this tube will slide down past it. And I'll show you that as I take it apart. Okay, there's one of the new boots installed. There's my other one. I wanted to show you how these front forks come off, just in case when you guys ever have one of these Fox bikes. On these forks, this is where the fender mounts. There's 2 bolts here, 2 on the other side. Okay, there's a pinhole back here. See that pinhole right there? Right above where the fender mounts on the side. There's a pinhole, and for this bike, it was lined up about down the back this way. So you have to take the fender off, unbolt it from the wheel, so you can spin it and this way. And then you'll start looking through this little hole with a flashlight, and you'll find a brass pin. You got to push that pin in while pulling down on this with a small pointy object, and then this will just pop off. I've got this one undone, but I got to put a rag around it or I'll lose that brass pin. So I'm going to pop it off without the camera, but just all I'm doing is sliding this off. I'm putting a rag around it here, so when the brass pin pops out, it's caught in a rag. I don't have a tripod, or I'd show you. Alright, everybody's pushing in this little spot here. I used a little small pointy pick to push the brass pin in, okay? And then I've already slid this down, and there's the pin right there. See, the spring's kind of holding it in place. There's a pin there, and then inside there's a little spring. So first you're going to want to grab that pin, set it somewhere safe. Then you want to get a little pick in there and pull out that spring and put them together so you don't lose them, because they are so small. Alright, there's that little pin and spring. I want you to see how small it is so you don't lose it if you're ever taking apart those forks. And those came out of the hole back here. There's a spring in there first, and then that little pin, little brass pin. Don't lose them. Bing bing across the garage or yard or wherever you take it apart at, that's where they'll go. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit and throw some grease on it, and then slide the new boot up first, slide the spring on, then I'll grease it, and slide the bottom half of the, I don't know what you got, the bottom half of the forks on. Okay, we got 2 boots on there now. This boot is in, and the spring is kind of tucked up underneath there and held in by the boot. We got grease inside of the new down tube. Is that what they call it? I don't know. The lower fork. Fork U. And the pin is ready. And all I gotta do is push the pin in with my little pick. Slide this over it. Once it's slid over it, you'll hear it go click and it's locked in place. Cool, cool. Brand new boots. Those boots are special. You can't buy those anywhere, period. I met a guy, Augie. Cool guy. He made his own, or had his own made. It's just amazing.